The 44 Cup returns to its most frequently visited venue with the 44 Cup Marstrand in Sweden. It took place from 19th to 23rd of June with support from Artemis Technologies and Marstrand Segelsällskap. The high-performance owner-driver One Designs have visited Marstrand on Sweden's west coast every year but one since 2011. Aside from Marstrand being one of Scandinavia's most famous yacht racing venues, it's also a top tourist destination, and this year's event coinciding with the Midsummer Eve celebrations.
You know, Marstrand is one of these places you never know what you get. You can get rain, big waves, as we know, and days like this. And obviously we came here during the Midsummer, which is a great thing in Sweden, and I think everyone had a good taste of what that can be. So both onshore, offshore, I think it's a nice combination. So I'm very happy to see that the teams like it here, so we will come back next year.
Välkommen till Marstrand. Welcome to Marstrand. This is the heart of sailing in Sweden, and it goes back millions of years, and we've always been here. This is the venue where everyone likes to come to sail in Sweden. It's a beautiful island out on the west coast of Sweden, and yeah, it's a tricky venue, lots of different winds.
With near gale force westerlies kicking up a violent sea state, the first day of racing at the 44 Cup Marstrand was called off, with PRO Maria Torrillo marking this with her AP over A call at 1300 hours.
Today the forecast was very, very strong and was right. I mean, when we went out to check the wind, we had already 26 average, gust up to 32 knots. We were waiting a little bit to see if the wind was dropping, but never happened, and the sea state was increasing up to 2 meters, then it was almost impossible to go out and to race.
The second day of racing, the schedule was brought forward by 2 hours to make the most of the available wind. The first race was held in a light, fickle southwesterly before the wind strengthened and stabilised, allowing 3 races to be sailed. In the first race, there were high hopes for local heroes when Torbjörn Tornqvist's Artemis Racing overtook Chris Bake's Team Aqua down the first run and led on to the second. However, an early jibe for both boats proved the wrong move, sailing into a light patch of wind and allowing Vladimir Prosikin's Team Nika to sneak past for the win, with Juglepik's LF Racing in second. In race 2, Charisma came back from the left on the first upwind to pop out in front, with Artemis Racing again doing well, rounding the top mark in second. These positions held for the remainder of the race. In the best breeze of the day, the third race saw an intense fight between Team Aqua and Charisma. Poons' team seemed to have a piece of Team Aqua as they approached the second top mark, until Bake luffed them hard, bearing away to lead onto the last run. Both jibed early, and coming down the middle of the course, Charisma was attempting to stay on Team Aqua's wind. Meanwhile, LF Racing was out to the right and John Bassadoni's Peninsula Racing to the left, both looking threatening. In the end, Team Aqua kept her nose just in front, finishing ahead of Charisma with LF Racing third. At the halfway stage of the 44 Cup Marstrand, Nico Poons' team was leading, but tied on points with LF Racing, in turn a point ahead of Team Aqua and 2 in front of Igor Lars' Team CRF Vader and Artemis Racing.
We had a really bad first race because we were over early, and got a lot better because we weren't over early in the second and third race. So both were good races. It was awesome to see the team fight hard through our disappointment of the first race, but everyone just kept the same speed, same cadence with everything, and it was awesome to come back and have a 1-2 at the end of the day. So pretty happy with how the day ended, but didn't feel very good in the beginning. Let's see how the night goes on this long day.
The first race we had very bad luck by starting too early, so we had to go back. We catched up, unfortunately then we lost, so that was a very bad race. The second race was one out of the book first, and the third race we came back very well and finished second. So overall, not a bad day.
An early finish allowed the 44 Cup community to descend on Marstrand Society House for Sweden's traditional Midsummer Eve celebrations, and one of the best parties that owners and crews could remember. Saturday's races provided another weather feature for the crews to deal with: intermittent rain. To recover the lost schedule from day one, 4 races were held. In the first, Vladimir Prosikin's team Nika went right and capitalised by crossing the fleet. However, she was just short of the ley line at the top mark and picked up a penalty, allowing Charisma to lead LF onto the run from where they hung on. In race 2, Charisma was first at the top mark, while John Bassadoni's Peninsula Racing did well to get the inside berth, rounding in second. Bassadoni's team made a good ley line call into the gate, while Charisma had to put in an extra jibe. Splitting at the gate, attacking duel ensued, with Charisma gaining the upper hand and leading onto the second run. However, Peninsula jibed early into pressure to pull back into the lead, which she carried to the finish.
It's clear that there are tough conditions. It's very tricky because the wind is shifting a lot, but as something that you can almost predict if you are able to figure out what is your mean. I mean the medium wind, let's say. So you are trying to play on this kind of shift. Maria has put a lot of bias on the pin, and that wasn't my plan in the beginning. But at the end, with this kind of bias, we decided to start to lure off the fleet. Luckily, the wind stayed on the left almost all the beat, and that's give us opportunity to sail a proper race.
Rightfully, the third race should have been Artemis Racing's. Torbjörn Tornquist's Swedish hosts led Charisma onto the run, and their splitting at the gate brought some interesting encounters up the second beat. In one, Charisma luffed her rival hard, but Artemis Racing was sufficiently ahead to lead at the second top mark rounding. However, with the line in sight, LF Racing came in from the left with pressure to pip Artemis Racing to the post by less than a boat length. In the final race, when the wind was down to 10 to 12 knots and the sea flatter, Team Nika looked good on the right, but Charisma was stronger coming back from the left and rounded first and sailed away to score her third bullet.
So far it's been a great racing. The wind is very shifty and very puffy, so it's all up and down. It's been, I think, great work from the team. So far we had 3 good starts and the boat is going fast, so it was easy to stay in phase when you have the opportunity to move wherever you want.
So far we're having a very good day. We had some good starts, and we found the pressure, and we seem to be able to find the shifts. It's great that we're having good starts, because yesterday we had 3 very difficult starts, and we ended up being able to catch up after that, but that was hard. So we're now a little bit more consistent at the front of the fleet, which is always a little bit easier.
The fourth and final day of racing took place in lighter conditions, with the cloud cover giving way to brilliant sunshine and some of the best competition, with 3 races completed. In the first, held in a 10-knot northwesterly, Artemis Racing had done well out on the right, but coming in from the left it was Team Aqua that led around the top mark ahead of Charisma. On the run, Charisma edged ahead, going on to score her 4th bullet of the regatta. Team Aqua turned this around in the next race, leading Christian Zura's Black Star onto the first run, and from there to the finish, scoring her first bullet of the event. Meanwhile, after a deep result in the first race, LF Racing, Charisma's only rival for the overall lead, was called OCS in the second. With LF unable to recover from this setback, Charisma took the 44 Cup Marstrand with a race to spare.
This is a great comeback for the team after last year. The first 2 events we had to find ourselves and invent ourselves again, and now we are back quite convincing, and I'm very, very happy with this. It's I think the 3rd or the 4th time we win in Marstrand. I don't know exactly anymore, but great work for the team, and we go into the Worlds with a lot of expectations for ourselves, and we'll see if we can accomplish it.
It was a good week for us. I think, as Nico said, it was nice to be with such a great team. You know, every single one of these people is a good fighter all the way around. So we kind of are getting better every time we sail together as a group, and we got pretty smooth and good at it. And you know, still always places to improve, but it was a good week for us for sure. Thank you.
While Charisma decided to sit out the final race, the drama was far from over, with the fight on for second overall between Aleph Racing and Artemis Racing. The Swedes led out of the start, and Aleph Racing just needed to finish 5th or better. However, Aleph ended a disappointing day in 6th, which allowed the Swedish host Artemis Racing to take second overall off the French by just a single point. Team Aqua's 212 made Chris Bake's team the top scoring boat of the day, elevating them from 8th place to 4th overall.
You know, it's tricky racing out here today. You know, you can see the fleet's extremely tight and competitive as it has been over the last few days, and it's going to be all on for the last race. You know, it's RC44 sailing, so one race, and we could be anywhere between 2nd and probably 6th. So we have to make sure we do everything we can to be at the top of this last race, and if we are, we'll have a good result.
That was a nice bonus in the end. It was obviously extremely tight when we went into the last race. I think it could at least 4 or 5 boats who could be in the same position. So that's it. Extremely close. Very exciting, of course. And we're very happy.
From here, the 44 Cup moves on to the 44 World Championship. This takes place from the 21st to 25th of August in a new venue for the competition, Brunnen on Lake Lucerne. See you there.